Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight on this Sunday, January the 15th, 2017. It's amazing to see the reactions of people that think that we care if they go to the inauguration. Now, we got a lot of Hollywood performers who are dropping out. Some of them say that they are being threatened with death threats. And, of course, I believe that. We've seen people with the Electoral College that have been threatened with death threats. But, of course, these entertainers are looking at the death of their career. They will not work in Hollywood again if anybody thinks that they did anything to help Donald Trump. Nicole Kidman is the one who got it right. What we're celebrating here is democracy and a peaceful transition of power. Something that I would think everybody would support. But, of course, we have now, I think the count is up to 19 self-serving, publicity-seeking Democrat lawyers, I think we need to call it the demagogic party, are now saying they're going to boycott or they're going to participate in protests during the Trump inauguration. Fine. We don't really need you there. We could care less. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the people in the press corps that are so bent out of shape about what's happening. And, of course, the top of Drudge, it said Trump is going to open this up to more people in the press. That's the way you need to understand that. So we're going to break that information down for you, as well as look at the developing opposition to Trump from Paul Ryan. And, of course, we said this was going to happen. We said that the number one opposition figure to Donald Trump was going to be Paul Ryan. And now we see that Paul Ryan and the GOP are starting to push back on Trump's Buy America. Oh, we don't want that. They pulled it out of the first bill to have that in there. They say, he said on Friday, Ryan told somebody, we're not going to pull the rug out from underneath dreamers. We're not going to send you home if you came here and said you're a dreamer. Remember, dreamers are anybody who comes here up to the age of 31. A foreign citizen who comes here illegally, decides they're going to stay, and then says that they're dreaming of American benefits. And so, of course, Paul Ryan is eager to hand that out to them, to tell them that they can stay. All these dreamers up to the age of 31, they're not going to go out. And then, of course, he was also saying that he's pushing back against Donald Trump's idea about lobbyists. Trump said, I want to put a ban on people. If you're going to come here and serve in the government, you're not going to then turn around in a revolving door and become a lobbyist 1 year after you leave office. We're going to make that 5 years. And if you want to be a lobbyist for a foreign country, ain't going to happen. A lifetime ban. Paul Ryan says, I think that's really a dangerous idea. He also thinks it's dangerous to have term limits, and that's another thing he's opposing Donald Trump on. So we're going to talk about all those things as well. Before we get to the news, though, I just want to remind you that we have a special at InfoWarsLife.com. This is how we fund our operation. We don't get money from George Soros, like Media Matters. We don't get money from the federal government, like NPR. No, instead, we offer you products that help you to protect your health, to protect your safety. Things like the bulletproof vest inserts, the bulletproof vest and the inserts that you can put in your backpack, the carbon nanotube technology, state-of-the-art technology in anti-ballistics. But I want to focus right now on the specials we have, the Make Our Body Great Again initiative. We have discounts from 20 to 30% off. We have 20% off Secret 12, vitamin B12. That's in a liquid formulation, a very good form of B12, very easy way for your body to assimilate it as well. We also have 20% off Liver Shield, Prostagard, and Knockout, our all-natural sleep aid. It's very important for your health to get restful, deep sleep. And if you're not getting it for some reason, you can use a natural aid like Knockout to make sure that that happens. Also, we have 30% off Survival Shield X2. That's our nascent iodine, which used to be put into salt and many other food additives because they understood that your body needs a certain amount of it to be healthy. That's not the case anymore in today's America. They put other things that your body needs to be able to fight back against toxins that are in your food, your water, and your air as they remove essential nutrients. So that's one of the reasons why we offer these products. You can also get Super Male Vitality, 30% off, and Brain Force, 30% off. My favorite supplement that we have. It really helps to focus your mind. And after a long absence, we now have back in stock DNA Force. It's been out for over a month. We've got it back in with an emergency shipment. It's very difficult for us to get this key ingredient, BioPQQ. It costs about $30,000 a batch. You can see there's 175 clinical studies. You can look at that and see what BioPQQ does for your body, for your DNA. And we have that back in stock now, so to help you get stocked back up, we have a 10% discount. And if this runs out, it's going to be a little while longer before we get another backup shipment. So that's something to take advantage of right now. 10% discount is a substantial discount on that product. It's probably our premier product in terms of cost because of that very difficult to get and expensive ingredient, BioPQQ. Now, as Alex was talking about earlier in the program, the news that we saw all day yesterday and still today, of course, is Davos in Switzerland, the big globalist confab. Now, this is the one that they want you to know about, not Bilderberg. They do the same thing at Davos that they do at Bilderberg. They all get together and you have these political leaders and the elites of the press and of business all get together and, kind of conspire to do things. I'm sure nothing at all illegal, nothing that would be criminal, of course. But they want you to know that they're doing it at Davos. They, for some reason, tried to keep Bilderberg completely secret. That's why we show that so much. We want you to see who's going there. And, of course, they have a lot of celebrities that show up at Davos. Celebrities that won't be going to the Trump inauguration because they're on the other side. But I tweeted this out on my Twitter account, Libertarian, if you want to follow it. I thought it's an irony that they've now chosen the Chinese to be their spokesperson, their leader. Now, the Chinese premier president is out there in front. You know, here we have the most hyper-nationalistic country, and he's supposedly the globalist leader, the people who say, oh, we don't like nationalism, we want a one-world government, and yet China is the most hyper-nationalist country and aggressive country you can find anywhere. I mean, look what they're doing in the South China Sea, right off the coast of the Philippines. China is also the most protectionist country that you can find. Isn't it an irony that here we have this protectionist country that is now going to be the spokesperson for all these globalists who say, no, we have to have open trade. Open trade is the only way to go. No. China is about a one-way policy. I'm talking about a one-China policy. They got a one-way trade policy. That's what China has. So when you look at protectionism, when you look at nationalism, all the things that the globalists are supposed to despise, that is the very embodiment of that in China to the greatest degree of any country and greater degree than what Donald Trump has proposed. And yet he is their leader because they have chosen the Chinese as the tool to take down the West, as Alex pointed out. And so it's not really an irony. It's simply the lies of globalism that we see going on in Davos now. And, of course, we have a new world press order that is starting to establish in the wake, especially of this press conference that we had this last week. It's a new order for the press. And the press is really, really getting upset about the fact that there's talk about moving them out of the office that they had in the White House and into an office in the adjacent building. And the way most of the press is depicting this is the way The Hill does it. The Hill says Trump team is considering evicting the press from the White House as a report. Well, that's not true. They're not talking about evicting them. They're talking about putting them into a bigger room. And Reince Priebus points out that the reason they're doing this is because they've had so many people apply for this. He said, we can only fit 49 people in that room in the White House. We can fit 400 in this other facility that we're looking at. And if you look at the top of Drudge is saying they're expanding this. And again, this is an interesting parallel to what they're talking about, the whine of the globalists. When they start talking about how awful it would be if we had trade deals that worked for America, they say, oh, this would be isolationism. This would lead to a smaller economy, when in reality, what it would do is it would open up the economy to some of the small businesses that are locked out of this because only the big boys are allowed to play. So that's what's happening. That's what we're talking about when we talk about trade. And the same way, that's what's really happening here with the press corps. The big guys who've always had a place at the table, who think that they're entitled to this, who have been connected to the establishment and say what the establishment tells them to say, they have muscled out everybody else. And now it's opening up. You see, it's an opening. It's not a closing in both trade and in press. It's a new world press order. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. If you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight on this Sunday, January the 15th, 2017. It's amazing to see the reactions of people that think that we care if they go to the inauguration. Now, we got a lot of Hollywood performers who are dropping out. Some of them say that they are being threatened with death threats. And, of course, I believe that. We've seen people with the Electoral College that have been threatened with death threats. But, of course, these entertainers are looking at the death of their career. They will not work in Hollywood again if anybody thinks that they did anything to help Donald Trump. Nicole Kidman is the one who got it right. What we're celebrating here is democracy and a peaceful transition of power. something that I would think everybody would support. But of course, we have now, I think the count is up to 19 self-serving, publicity-seeking Democrat lawyers. I think we need to call it the demagogic party. Are now saying they're going to boycott or they're going to participate in protests during the Trump inauguration. Fine. We don't really need you there. We could care less. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the people in the press corps that are so bent out of shape about what's happening. And, of course, the top of Drudge, it said Trump is going to open this up to more people in the press. That's the way you need to understand that. So we're going to break that information down for you.